Hello friends, welcome to your channel ABC Health. I am Nishant, your host in your journey towards active living and clean eating. Today I'm going to talk to you about active living to start with. Before I say anything, I must say that each and everything that I'm going to share with you, that's only going to work if you will apply this every single day of your life. So this has to be a part of your life. It cannot be a temporary thing that you just do for some time and then forget it. It has to be done every day. So if you can do it, that can do wonders for you. Now they say that if it's not moving, it's not life. Active living basically is giving your body, your mind, your soul the respect and care it deserves. Now, why should we be active? Science and studies on human genetics and human DNA has shown that over the last 100,000 years, which is ever since when humans existed on the planet, the human DNA has not changed. So the way our body functions has not changed at all from hundreds and thousands of years. However, if you just go back 500 years from now, let's say in the year 1500 AD, for example, the amount of activity that humans used to do was almost 20 to 30 times than the amount of activity that we do these days. Um, on top of that, after the invention of sugar, yeah, somewhere in the 1800s, the amount of food and the type of food that we are eating amounts to the total number of calories that we are eating in a day being almost 10 to 20 times higher, or I should say higher compared to what we used to have earlier. So what this means is you're having more glucose or more carbohydrates in your body, but your body is not able to adjust itself because the DNA is still that old DNA, remember, the 100,000-year-old DNA. And so there's an overload of carbohydrates and sugars in your blood, which can lead to various diseases that we know about, things like diabetes, things like obesity, where there's excess fat storage in the body, hypertension or blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, cancer, depression, these sort of diseases, and they're all linked to physical inactivity. Now, we might think that someone like me, who is perfectly okay, I'm not overweight or obese, I probably might not have these diseases. But that's not correct, because it's not just obesity or overweight people that have these problems. Even normal, healthy people, seemingly healthy people, will have these. So what happens in this situation is when there is excess glucose and there is lack of physical exercise, that affects and impairs the blood circulation. So there is not effective blood going on to all of your organs because your body is still, it's not moving as much as it has to move. Um, and the body gets a sense that probably it doesn't need that amount of glucose or the energy, and that's why the energy keeps circulating in the blood instead of going in the muscles and tissues and organs of the body. What this means is that excess glucose leads to fat storage and things like high cholesterol, where your body sort of makes more lipids, and that leads to cardiovascular diseases. And the other thing also is increased insulin insensitivity, if I must say. So insulin is a hormone that helps in the glucose that we take, that it helps in distribution of that glucose to the cells and tissues and muscles of the body. But when you have got excess amount of glucose, the body gets confused and it just doesn't know what to do with that. And because of that, you see that excess glucose and lack of insulin sensitivity in the body. So friends, how much physical activity do you really need? Or what's the minimum, as many of the people might ask? Um, Straight answer is at least 20 to 30 minutes a day of brisk walking or running or high intensity exercise is good enough, as long as you're doing it fast and quick. For people that are old, it could be a bit hard, which means that even if you do some activity, that could be about, let's say, 30 minutes of just walking, that itself could be pretty good. On an average, about 10,000 steps a day, which equates to roughly 300 to 350 calories for an average person. I mean, according to the WHO guidelines and according to most of the studies, that's a really good goal to have. Um, and my next topic now is what can you do to make sure that you have good physical activity. So what I do is I usually start early in the morning. The earlier you start, the better. The chances of your having good activity throughout the day increases if you start early and do more steps in the morning or more walking in the morning. But that might not suit everyone, because someone has to start early for office, and there might be various reasons. So there are some other tips that I can share with you that you can do on your in your daily routine to increase your activity level. So things like always take stairs if you can, and try and avoid lifts and elevators as much as you can if you're going out. Um, you can do things like doing star jumps, just basic star jumps. Yep, something like this while you're watching TV. Um, Stand up, every hour. Just don't keep sitting for long. Do 20 squats or let's say 50 star jumps every hour. You can use fitness trackers or maybe just alarms and reminders to remind you that you need to keep moving every hour. Um, you can do squats while brushing your teeth. Make sure you keep walking and keep moving the whole day. That's really important. You should not be sitting in one place for a long time. And even if you keep doing that throughout the day, even if you're locked down in your house, let's say for something like COVID, you can still do that sort of stuff, and that will make sure that you'll get to that goal of roughly about 10,000 steps a day. Um, Other things that you can do is walk to any place that you can reach. So try and avoid cars and motorbikes and all that sort of stuff. Just try and walk as much as you can. That'll help you be active. You can take your kids to biking, or you can take them to park while walking. That's a wonderful way to spend time with them and also make sure that you're active. Make sure that you have that 10,000 steps as a goal, because it's important to have goals. And the best thing is if you can buy a fitness tracker or a watch, that's excellent. But if you can't, even if you on your regular smartphone like Samsung, and even on the iPhones, you've got apps that track your steps and activity, so you can do that. I also, because I work from home, I also make sure that because I keep sitting the whole day, I keep things like water bottle away in the kitchen as far as I can from where I sit. So every time I'm thirsty, I need to walk and go to the water bottle and get it. So that's a bit of a walk. Every time I drink water, I make sure that I do about 50 star jumps or maybe 20 squats. And then if I go to toilet, I make sure that after washing my hands, I will do, let's say, 50 star jumps and some squats. Um, and lastly, something that you will all appreciate is phones. So I know it's really hard to avoid phones, but you can always keep talking while while you're walking. So that's a really good way to get your steps going in the day. Um, so remember, friends, it's really important to keep moving. Make sure that you exercise, you have an active life. Exercise is something that adds life to your ears. It's not just a way to add ears to your life. And just make it a part of your daily routine. That's when it's going to help you the most. Thank you.